Alright guys, welcome back. Today, we're gonna talk about Ward and the Rune Master. So, I was going over my passive tree here and looking at things. I was playing Hydrahedron, and I've come on to a little node here in the Rune Master tree, which is called Edict of the Scion, right? I don't really want to use this with Hydrahedron, but because I don't spam skills that much. But this thing here, Edict of the Scion, is the new Lost Knowledge. And why is that? Basically, they nerfed Lost Knowledge. Lost Knowledge used to scale with your maximum mana, and then they reduced the amount that you gain as well per mana. So this now can give you, if you have like 1,000 mana, 100 ward, right? For a skill that costs 40 mana. If you have 1,000 current mana. What does Edict of the Scion do? It gives you increased area for area skill, which is kind of nice. And it also gives you, right? Let me just remove these points in here and put them here. Ward per rune on area skill use. How does that work? Well, you can have 3 runes per 3 runes with the Rune Master at all times, right? So for example, if you're playing a Frostclaw build, right? And you can just spam Frostclaw, like you can see here, right? If you just spam Frostclaw like this, like I don't even have Frostclaw spec at the moment. You can do way more things and you have way more projectiles of this, right? Every single time that you use Frostclaw, you will gain the full benefits of all of your runes here. So you get 3 times 36 ward per rune on area skill use, right? So what does this do? Let's delete this. Let's go over the calculations again, right? So you get 36 times 3 for every single cast. And then you have here, ward gain on direct spell cast. 40, all right, let's grab this. Plus 40 for every single spell cast. What can you get here? You can get ward on crit. So you can get 10 ward for every single crit that you do. So maybe you have like, I don't know, 5 projectiles per hit or 6 projectiles. Let's do plus 60. Let's say you have 6 projectiles that hit and crit, because your build is 100% crit. You get 208 ward every single cast. This scales with cast speed, by the way. What can you get here? Ward gained versus branded bosses. So if you use a brand, whether you use a lightning skill, you can get brand with your frost wall that you convert to fire, and then the fire can brand enemies with that. Or you can also brand with Flame Rush, I believe. So another 28 for every single cast that you do against the boss. 236 ward gain per cast. Like, not even per cast. Like, yes, per cast, actually. Because you have, if you have 6 projectiles. Every single cast. That scales with cast speed. That's absolutely nuts. And let's compare this to the nodes that we had before the Rune Master, okay? Let's put this here. We have 236 ward every single cast. This node here gives you 35 ward gained if you use a lightning or fire skill. It has a 7-second cooldown and maximum 35. So if you're alternating between fire and lightning, you get 70. Divide that by 7 seconds, you get essentially 10 ward per second if you play perfectly. Hello balance. On the sorcerer tree, we had Lost Knowledge. If you cast a kill that costs 40 mana, and then you need to have 1,000 mana to gain 100 ward per cast. That is very, very restrictive now. Like some builds, for example, Glacier, that can keep its mana up, and that can have a big mana pool, that can build towards a big mana pool, could maybe use this, but maybe you don't even want it anymore. I don't know. It's just absolutely nuts the amount of ward that we can get now. It's just completely nuts. It's just completely nuts. Right. So that was the purpose of my video. I just want to say that if you're using Frostclaw, like, keep in mind, Edict of the Scion, incredibly powerful. Probably, like, the Rune Master class is probably the tankiest class yet to be released. It has access to like Cold Fire Cold Invocation that gives it 30% less damage taken, as well as a big mana regen. You have access to less damage taken from ignited, shocked, or chilled enemies. You have some access to Flame Ward when you go through your Frost Wall, which like Frost Wall is like now pretty much like kind of mandatory for every single build. Not mandatory, but like who doesn't want to have another free 30% less damage taken on hit, plus another 40%, plus another 30% less elemental damage taken, plus 1000 armor. You can either go 1000 armor, you can go more damage here, you can get some mana regen, you can get some, because your Frost Wall, basically, whenever you go through your Frost Wall, you cast Flame Ward on yourself. It does not put Flame Ward on cooldown. So you can even have like a safeguard Flame Ward when you're stunned. When do you die in Last Epoch? When you're stunned, right? So every time you get stunned, it puts your Flame Ward on cooldown, but you can still get Flame Ward when you go through your Frost Wall. So I can see so many options. Yeah, I can see so many things happening with this. Like, but this is just for the record, without using any of this. Well, not using any, just using Frost Wall without Cold Fire Cold with Flame Ward here and Flame Rush. Oh yeah, by the way, when you Flame Rush, you also get 40% less damage taken, and then an extra 18%, doubled against dot, and it persists after your Flame Rush. Although this node does not persist for very long. Yeah. I was able to tank Tier 4 Jolra Era Explosion at level 80 with basically like almost... This is just how tanky the Rune Master is. It is absolutely busted, and I can't wait to see what people do with this. Alright, that will pretty much cover it, guys. I'll see you guys next time.